Greetings, I am Live.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together. Alright, I can tell the truth, or I could lie for the fun of it.
Right.
So I'm like, so what should I say?
We'd already died.
Alright, so we were ghost hunting, I was sleepwalking, an evil wizard transported us to this place. Oh my god, I am gonna tell the truth. I don't care. At this point, I have established that my version of this character, Mister, tells the truth. There's been so many options to lie, and we've never chosen one.
Except for the fact that one time we were literally, we just had no choice.
I was gonna say, in general, we've been far less of a liar than they've wanted us to be, / directed us to be.
That's the one thing I don't get either. I'm like, why are you fucking needing to lie so much? The level of, I need to compensate so hard for an image that I don't have.
I also have no context for, if he did that thing where he's like, oh, I was trying to make her laugh after, Rena's like, why did you say that? If we did, an evil wizard transported us to this place, is it gonna be that's supposed to be funny and lighten the mood? Because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
And also, I was sleepwalking doesn't explain all three of you, and I don't want him to be that stupid.
Yeah, no kidding.
So the only one that I can go with is we were ghost hunting, but I'm having less ability to explain why this character picks his choices, other than just that we were, ghost hunting.
Mister, why did you tell the truth?
Because both of my lie options were kind of bad and not very believable.
What?
I couldn't think of anything. I panicked.
Oh my god.
You should have answered instead. She only asked
so
me.
Ridiculous. Which is a thing I actually pointed out the previous one going, again, the main character is now responsible for literally everyone else.
Because the other two could have talked during that time, and especially if you're going to have someone who has Alzheimer's, who's potentially confused, a nurse has shown up and asked an important, demanding question, she might just say something. There's no reason she would suddenly just be silent other than to make room for your protag to speak.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have no choice. She's gonna know about it anyway. Don't you know that Miki is omniscient?
I'd also be like, don't you know that there are fucking security cameras in hospitals, regardless of the area being not in use?
And if I claimed sleepwalking, it wouldn't work for all three of us very well.
God.
You know?
Patient confidentiality and all that, but still.
Because if I claimed all three of us were sleepwalking and they tracked all of us, it would still look like we were talking a lot.
Yeah.
Plus, do all three of us have a history of sleepwalking? It just didn't sound like it would hold water. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I knew you'd act upon it. Why am I not surprised? Now we can make two women disappointed in one sentence.
Hey!
Miki shakes her head.
Wow, they really are. My friend called it right before they do it. Wow, that is aggressive.
And it made Rena cry, to tell the truth. Whoa.
What is, again, I'm like, they really are lean more towards being bombastic, being theatrical, lie, play around, flirt, do this thing.
Lie to the women you're going to get involved with.
Yeah.
This is a great way to build a relationship.
Establish a relationship, which is usually, in my experience, built best on trust and understanding and comprehension and vulnerability.
On the other hand, if again he's going to claim, oh, I was joking, it was for fun, and other people are going to theoretically laugh at it.
Oh boy, more plausible deniability.
Right, that kind of thing. I was going to say, then maybe you're supposed to seem like a more fun, less straight-laced personality, but I'm not familiar with that, and usually with me, when people use the I'm going to deceive you as a joke kind of thing, it's not been funny.
Right?
You believed my sarcasm, ha!
Oh god, no. When I have been sarcastic and people have been like, holy shit, because I apparently seem to have really good deadpan sarcasm.
I say, my friend does your straight-faced deadpan humor amazingly.
But it's been really bad sometimes where people just go, oh, that thing. And I'm like, whoa, I was totally kidding. And I always basically correct it going, no, I would never fucking say that and mean that with a straight face. I'm like,
and I have
that
met
is cruel.
Quite a few people that will. They'll just let the other person believe it. And then sometimes, in a job, they'll come over to me and be like, oh my God, so-and-so believed me. And I just kept going on about this for 5 minutes. And now they're over there and they think this thing is true and it's amazing. And I'm like,
no.
Why did you do that? That's not okay.
Yeah, especially in regards to, so sometimes with people who have power, where some people, so I've had this issue sometimes, and I get people being able to make jokes, and text is not usually the best way to convey basically emotional tone. But sometimes it's really one of those things where I have to remind myself, because sometimes even I get caught off guard by seeing people on my Tumblr or seeing people on my Twitter, and just going whoa, I cannot believe you said that. And then going, hang on, for the grand scheme of who I have gathered this person to be, that is sarcasm. But because otherwise, they don't say anything. And you're kind of like, that seems like a really extreme, nasty thing to say, but they never basically clear it up. And I'm going, based off of everything else I know, why would you say that?
Yeah, just don't leave it like that anyway.
Ah.
So now Rena's crying a little bit, and Miki's just pissed. This is fine. Miki shakes her head. Look, you can give excuses all you want, but one thing is for sure. It's way past your bedtime.
That's not an excuse.
And
That's
since-
the truth.
Right, I know. And
They
you know
were
what?
expecting you to lie.
I think so. I think all of these were going to go poorly for you.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't know,
What?
but yeah, give excuses going, when someone just tells you the truth, that's not really an excuse.
no.
And I am going to dig in semantically to the word here of going, an excuse is literally like a, well, I'm trying to just shrug it off kind of thing. And going, literally describing, why are you in this hallway? I am sneaking out of my room to go buy chocolate that I'm not supposed to from the vending machine. No excuses. That was literally a description of what's happening.
Right? There's also the thing, actually, so my friend and I actually went on this small tirade at one point about going, what is the difference between giving an excuse and a reason?
Right.
And we really was just like, the most as far as either of us could gather was it was literally up to the interpretation of the other person to determine if that was an excuse or if that was a reason.
Right, if they like it or not. But
Yes.
I always
Which
feel
is
like
super frustrating.
if you're sort of empirically describing what's happening, then it's not an excuse.
It's a reason.
description. But on the other hand, in this case, an excuse is more like, why didn't you do something else? And there wasn't like something else.
Mhm.
Like, why are you in this hallway? Well, because I couldn't get out of the hallway. Well, because I got lost. No excuses.
Right.
You know? And going, I'm ghost hunting. Don't make an excuse for why you're here. And there's two different ways to use excuse in that way. But I was just like, I really never really like it.
I don't
If
like
you-
excuse either because usually it's really aggressive.
Yeah, it is.
What an
All right.
excuse that is. You're like,
Past your bedtime. You could have gotten in trouble by venturing this deep into the hospital.
I
There's
mean-
rules that could get me in trouble as a patient.
you could have gotten in trouble. We are in trouble?
We are currently have already gotten in trouble. So what you're saying is you've gotten in trouble.
Are you talking about legal ramifications? Are you talking about what? What are you talking about? Getting
Yeah,
sued?
I was gonna say you could have gotten in trouble. Do you think we were in danger? Is the hospital not safe?
Safe?
And if it's not safe, why are patients allowed to wander around it, especially those who are vulnerable, like Miss Granny Gran here?
Uh-huh. Also, sometimes the thing that bugs me is going like, I get the nighttime thing, but as far as I ever remember, they were like, okay, you have the thing of wandering around at night, but usually you'd have like a nurse accompaniment, because sometimes guess what? People have insomnia. They cannot fucking sleep.
Yeah.
You're going to force them to, just because they have restless leg syndrome or whatever it is, basically an experience where they can't stop moving, which I have experienced and I fucking did not like it with my medication. But it's just like, dude, some people cannot help but to walk. Like, at any
Sometimes.
point and at any time.
Yeah.
Like,
All right.
yeah.
You could have gotten in trouble, just like you did, by walking this deep into the hospital. Alright, hello?
Come on, there we go.
I'm just glad you weren't hurt. Don't you know this hospital is incredibly dangerous, and most patients stay here for an extended time because they hurt themselves in the hospital as well and exacerbate their current experience?
Right.
Rita, can you escort Granny Baba to her ward?
Whoa!
That doesn't seem
No.
appropriate at all.
That seems highly inappropriate.
Whoa.
Whoa! I'm sorry, who is the adult and the nurse here?
I
The
was like-
qualified individual who needs to deal with a patient who has Alzheimer's.
Let me ask a child patient to do this. She's been
No.
here a long time. I can give her a job that requires medical training and should be a job that you get paid for and is required that I'm responsible for.
Miki grabs out her little, walkie-talkie or, her beeper and beeps somebody else to come over in a certain area and be like, hey, I need you to pick up this person in this hall. I will be here the whole time with everyone because I can't leave.
Right, why the hell would you do that? I'm like,
That's
no.
so fucking inappropriate.
Come on,
Come
tap.
on, game. Holy cow. Yes, Nurse Miki.
Why are we doing this? That sounds really uncomfortable.
What?
Oh my god. I can do that. Rena can head straight to her room, even though you said it's past my bedtime and not hers or anyone else's, and you seem angry with me and not all of us. Oh no, lover boy. I don't trust you one bit with an older woman who has Alzheimer's.
Is that the implication?
Oh no, lover boy.
Or it might be about Rena.
Yeah, but I've offered to take Granny Baba.
No, I know. I gotcha, but I'm like, well, it could also be about Rena. Does that make sense?
I understand that it's, oh no, lover boy, I know you're spending time with Rena. I don't trust you to behave as I told you to because you're just going to wander off and do something else.
I mean, I get your point, too. Don't
but
get
the
me
way
wrong.
it's being said is, I'll escort the grandma back. Oh no, lover boy.
I feel Okay, so the reason why I'm bringing that up is because her going, oh no, lover boy, you're trying to basically throw, like, Rena under the bus and not yourself, because I would go back with Rena.
Okay.
You're trying to avoid punishment from me.
Okay.
That's kind of what
maybe.
I was thinking of.
Okay, I just feel like that's a weird time to use that.
I'm not saying it's not weird. There's lots of stuff in this game that is highly unusual and a little irregular. Like, whoa.
She winks at me. Her. Actually, I'd like to spend time with him myself. I'll just send 2 patients off together, and then I can have him. I can punish him myself. Whoa.
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 Oh.
Bless you.
Fine. I just
sneeze
soaked
was
a
amazing.
sneeze. Pardon me. Shall we go, Rena, my dear? I understood that entire conversation and know exactly what's expected of me, even though I seemed confused and fixated a couple of minutes ago, which can be normal for this condition, but I'm not really a character, so it's not important.
And also, it's not exactly clear, because again, not character.
Mm-hmm.
Haha. Off we go, Granny Baba! Let's go, Gran. Na, 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 na,
Together, they leave the dark hallway. And
down the dark hallway.
They leave the dark hallway, and I'm in just as much darkness as I was with Rena when all of this started, outside the morgue, where it is pitch black, as I have described. Well, it's you and me now. Again. Miki escorts me back outside my room. She escorts me back while we're outside my room. We're outside my room the entire time she escorts me back.
Honestly, that would be really funny.
That is dream logic. Actually, that is more effective dream logic than I have managed to convey a lot of times, where both things are true at the same time, that you are at your room door and you are going back to your room door. Well done.
In order to, I think, fix this potential sentence, is Mickey escorts me back to outside of my room.
Uh-huh.
Like,
that's it.
That's all you need. 2 words.
Because
otherwise, I'm like the dream logic
either
thing.
back to outside my room or back to the outside of my room, you know, or back to outside of my room. Like, you can add 2 or 3 words and fix this.
Yeah, it's fine. Hi.
Here we are. Time for you to rest, lover boy. I suddenly don't know what to say. She's now called me that twice. Did she think I was having a threesome with those 2? Why is she calling me lover boy? In the morgue. That'd be a really weird place to have a sex adventure. In the morgue. Is that where the boys usually go in the hospital when they're well, trying to make out with a nurse?
In the morgue?
The morgue? Is that why the morgue is shut down? Because it's really just for making out.
Ah, Jesus.
Nobody ever dies. Your hospital is so good. It doesn't matter if it's old age.
Honestly, I think I've mentioned this story before, but I still thought it was the funniest goddamn thing. When I worked at a McDonald's, they had several discussions about, so there were people that had sex in the manager's office where the cameras were, and they also had sex in the fridge.
Oh, God. Ew. Oh, that's not clean. That's not okay.
I mean, they all got in serious fucking trouble, but again, I'm just like, whoo, that just seriously grosses me the fuck out.
In the morgue.
Yay!
Yep, there we go.
Oh, God.
Miki wasted her precious time just to find us.
At full disclosure, I don't care if people are making out. What I'm disturbed by is basically health food standards.
Right.
That's what I'm upset about.
Yeah,
That's it.
I just say I find it offensive in that you're not following the protocol of your job.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So for me, just personally, I tend to be a very professional person.
But that's a part of your health food standards.
I would say, and if I'm working, I just want to be working. No, that has nothing to do with foods. That's any job ever.
Okay,
if I'm working, I prefer to be working.
Well,
I say, but that's me.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean I'm going to hold everyone to that same standard and be like, ever suggest that anyone shouldn't take their breaks. And I take my breaks too.
Oh, yeah.
But like, that's part of the job.
Right.
So I'm still working when I take my scheduled break. And that's how I look at things.
Right.
I say, for me. I was going to say, anyway.
Especially if you're getting paid.
I say, but what I find to be inappropriate is anyone disregarding basically hygienic standards, especially in a food environment.
Yes.
Like, that is like big no-no for me. And also I'm just like, work isn't sexy to me, I guess.
Ah, yes, the grease.
You know what?
Let me lube you up.
Sitting at a fryer and just looking at the manager's office and seeing another coworker in their bad uniform and being sweaty and disgusting, that gets me going.
Oh, baby.
I don't know. I've only worked with someone that I was dating, like, professionally one time, and there never was this inclination to stop jobbing so I could make out with them. And it was a person I really liked, you know? It's just, to me, those are separate.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not saying that can't happen. I'm saying I have a hard time relating.
Yes.
All right. Miki wasted her precious time just to find us. As a nurse, she wasted her nursing time on taking care of patients instead of doing other things that nurses do.
Such as taking care of patients. Oh, wait.
Right, that's where I was going.
I know. And I just wanted to complete that circle. Complete the loop, complete the thing.
Also, her 24-hour shift. She must be really tired having to take care of patients while she's taking care of patients. Why am I feeling guilty?
I don't know, mister.
Because it's been implied that you shouldn't leave your room at night, though never explicitly stated. And she specifically told you not to go ghost hunting for reasons.
Yes.
Should I go and say sorry? She's right here. It's going to be hard to go and say sorry. Walks away from her, comes back to her, like the Lily's Garden pathing. If you haven't seen the Lily's Garden series, the pathing in that series is freaking hilarious, where people walk in off the screen and then they'll walk in off the screen again when they're already on the screen for a different cutscene. It's pretty amazing. Should I go and say sorry? So they're entering a conversation they're already in canonically by walking back into it.
Should I go ahead and say sorry?
Yep.
Would probably be.
Or should I say sorry?
Yes. Should I? Cut it down. Perfect.
Apologize to Miki. I didn't do anything wrong. I can apologize that she had to worry, basically, but not that I was ghost hunting.
Yeah.
But also saying I didn't do anything wrong. Theoretically, we have no direction not to do this, so we didn't do anything wrong.
There's a lot of the assumptiveness of that basically whatever world this is has exactly the same rules as our current world, and I don't think I agree. I don't think a sex worker hospital that regularly entertains children is...
It's going to have the same rules.
I don't think so at all. In that world,
Additionally, like, I've walked around hospitals and stuff when I was waiting for, my mom or another relative to be done with whatever it was, or while I was, or visiting, or when they're, the patient or what have you. And even as a child, nobody ever stopped me from wandering into all kinds of places.
Yeah.
As long as I wasn't getting into things. And I never was the get into things kind of child. I was the stare at it and absorb it with my face kind of child. The, I will look.
Yeah. Woo!
Yep.
I stare.
I stare.
I look. I absorb with eyeballs.
I was the learn through your eyeballs kind of kid, rather than the climb on stuff, move things, play with stuff. And or I was always looking for a bookshelf once I was older, because I knew somewhere in the hospital there'd be a bookshelf.
Yeah, see, the big thing for me as a kid, even wandering around in the hospitals that I did, I never really wanted to, because one, they were always really scary to me because they're so uniform, and it was very difficult for me being a child figuring out where I was. I also wasn't usually engaged in like what my dad was doing, so I could never really tell where we were, because I was always doing my own goddamn thing. Like, I didn't care.
See, and
so I'd be like, I'm just going
to
to sit here and do my own thing. I will read.
See, and I think I've always had a profound trust for authority for whatever reason.
Right.
And so for me, I would write down, or have someone write down for me, just in case I dyslexia it into oblivion, the room and floor number. And then I would go walking out. And if I got lost, I'd walk to the nearest person that looked like they were in charge and be like, excuse me. And they might seem as confused as shit and busy with something else. I'd be like, could you tell me how to get here?
Right.
And since it was something clearly written down in a very clearly framed question, which my mom equipped me to know how to do, I appreciate that greatly, also my dad, then they would just help me, be like, oh, that elevator. And I'd be like, I didn't even see an elevator over there. Or go down this hall, turn right, there's an elevator.
Right.
And so half the time they'd give me a bunch of instructions, and I'd get halfway there, get completely lost again, and then ask somebody else, and I'd be closer to it, and then I'd get there.
Right.
Kind of thing. Because I wouldn't keep going, no, but I have to use their directions. I'd just be like, I'm lost again, where's another piece of authority?
Right.
All right, so I'm going to say I didn't do anything wrong. Because, like, he has been not defensive a good number of times.
Right.
And I think at this point, he's like, I'm just going to be defensive of my own actions. I chose to do this.
Well,
and
that
also,
was a turn, because I was expecting the other one, actually.
And also, vicariously, like, everybody was with you, and none of them are getting in trouble, but also saying I didn't do anything wrong can suggest that neither of them did anything wrong either. It can be group protection, essentially.
Right.
And so I'm going to try that one.
Sure, why not?
I guess I'd better stay silent.
That
is not,
hot.
I guess.
Okay.
All right, it means don't apologize. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. I was just having fun. Ghost hunting of something you were terrified about and was very uncomfortable with and thought you had accidentally killed Rena at one point was just having fun.
Fun? Yes.
Going into the morgue, thinking that, there was this horrible thing happening, experiencing confusion and terror and getting lost. Totally my idea of a good time.
Yay! Yeah.
I know how to have fun.
Right?
Are you thinking about something, Bud? From Loverboy to Bud. We're using a lot of endearments at the moment. What? Me? No. No. All right, mister. If you say so. Shall we go inside now, as we've stood out here during a pregnant pause this entire time?
Honestly, she really was waiting, but the thing is if you don't choose to do so, she doesn't interact with it. That's super fascinating.
That's interesting.
Like, to me, Miki was clearly waiting for you to apologize. That's it.
That's the only reason you stopped outside the door.
Yep, and I'm sort of disgusted.
I'm entertained after that.
All right, well, thank you very much, guys, then, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos if you're having a good time with us. Yep. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. We've got some links in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!